So let's go live to Queen's Park. This is where MPPs are speaking to the media after question period. Sarah Jama is speaking.
The repression against Palestinians and the anti-Palestinian racism in this place needs to continue to be called out. And I think it's upon all of us to fight injustice with our feet and hands, with our tongues, with our words, and in our hearts. And I think wearing the keffiyeh is the least we can do with 40,000 people continuing to be killed in the state of Palestine.
Why do you think the rules don't apply to you?
It's not that I think the rules don't apply to me. I think the rules don't apply to many people who have worn clothing around supporting Ukraine, or like I said, a member this morning, a colleague, who was wearing a tartan very intentionally, referring to the fact that he was wearing it politically and nothing occurred. So I think the rules are arbitrarily applied. Like I said, this keffiyeh has been worn by me specifically in this place before, and like even after October 7th and before October 7th, and yet this ban was arbitrarily put in place around February or March. So it's not that the rules don't apply to me specifically. The rules very specifically apply to anybody speaking up against genocide, against anti-Palestinian racism. Again, I say that this is a cultural piece of clothing. Every party leader has spoken up about how this ban shouldn't exist. The Premier has spoken about this ban needing to not exist, and yet his own members, the Conservatives, are the one consistently saying no to the removal of this ban. The Conservatives are making this political. The NDP, the Liberals, the Greens have all said that this ban should be removed. And so it is not that the rules don't apply to me. The rules very specifically apply to anybody speaking about anti-Palestinian racism. And that in and of itself is political, and that in and of itself is a testament to anti-Palestinian racism that is rampant here and across this country.
Are you worried about further repercussions now?
And what other repercussions could possibly be put in place? I have already been censured. I am not allowed to vote today. I think this constant use of the process to threaten or to hurt people who are publicly trying to speak in favor of stopping the genocide, in favor of a ceasefire, in favor of allowing people to wear their cultural garments in political spaces. This is not just happening here at Queen's Park. This is happening in schools. This is happening in people's workplaces. This is happening across Ontario. And I am not okay with it, and a lot of people are not. And a lot of people have spoken up about, even in this place politically, how this is not okay. So there are no further repercussions. Like I said earlier, it's upon all of us to fight where we are at against injustice in all the ways that we can. My voice has already been taken. To ban staffers and political members of this place from just wearing a cultural piece of clothing, it is not okay. And I'm going to be continuing to do what I can to draw attention to the fact that 40,000 people have been killed. Millions of people have been displaced already before October 7th who are Palestinian from the state of Palestine. And that's continuing. We have people in this building who are walking around that have family members under the rubble right now in the state of Palestine. And that is not okay. And this is the least that we can be doing, is drawing attention to the fact that this cloth, which is cultural, is being politicized. We have staffers trying to enter the building who have not been allowed to wear their own cultural clothing. And no, I am not afraid of any further repercussions, because there's not more that can happen. What the government should be doing, if Doug Ford really believes in people being allowed to wear the keffiyeh in this place, which he has said numerous times, he needs to actually speak to his members and allow this to pass, or to move a motion himself to allow it to pass, because people have been talking about this for a while. And you know what? The truth is, the Conservatives are worried about the votes, the by-election in Milton. So on the one side of their mouth, he's saying he's against the ban, but on another side of their mouths, they say no during a unanimous consent vote. And that in and of itself is politicizing the use of the keffiyeh and the fact that people are being genocided right now. And this needs to come to an end. People need to be allowed to wear the keffiyeh here, and we need to be able to continue to fight against and talk about anti-Palestinian racism in this place and across the province.
All right, I just want to ask though, this is a provincial legislature. It doesn't deal with national, international affairs. So why is this such a big issue here?
My question back to that
What does this have to do with provincial politics and running the province?
My question to that question is why, when another member was wearing a tartan, was he not asked to be removed?
That's not what I asked, though.
And I am allowed to answer how I would like to, if you would allow me to do so. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
So my answer to you is that another member was able to wear today a political piece of clothing that he named as such as being political and was not asked to be removed. We've had members across this chamber wear clothing in support of Ukraine and other international issues, and this is an issue that's affecting people here as well. There are Palestinians that actually work in this building. There are Palestinians who are affected by decisions by this government, and if Doug Ford, our own premier, has even said that the ban shouldn't exist, they should move a motion in line with that.
Are you planning to come back and wear it again this afternoon?
Absolutely, I'll be back. I don't know about this afternoon, but I'll definitely continue as I'm here to continue to wear it.
What about your
You've been told if you're going to
constituents?
be allowed.
You've already been censored over this broad issue, and you said you don't vote, you can speak in the same way. Like, are you not also elected to represent the people of Hamilton Centre who may not all feel as strongly about this issue as you do?
I can definitely still vote. Today I'm not allowed to vote. There's one issue before the House in terms of voting this morning. I have been voting. I have been showing up to vote. I am still on committee and able to participate as far as I know. And the judicial review is before the courts, and that should be resolved very soon. I don't think that the censure was okay, and I'm going to continue to fight against that. And people in my riding are very supportive. I have raised thousands upon thousands of dollars so far with my independent riding association. I plan to run again in 2026. And there are people across all parties in support of what I am doing and what I have been able to say. And again, I just want to take it back to the fact that there is a genocide going on, that 40,000 people have been killed, that there doesn't seem to be an end in sight despite the fact that everybody and their mother is now calling for a ceasefire. And that has to come to an end. And this is a cultural piece of clothing in support of people who are being genocided. And so we need to be centering the fact that people are dying. Across all ridings, people are affected, and this is a political issue, and my job is to be political. And so I will continue to wear this garment. I will continue to stand in support of staff who are trying to enter this building and hold on to the fact that, their people are being genocided. And I refuse to be afraid of participating as an elected member, representing the fact that there are people being genocided, and we are arguing about a cloth right now.
Have you had any more talks with Mard about going back into the...
Okay, we've been listening to MPP Sarah Jama, who has been censured for continuing to wear the Keffiyeh in the Ontario legislature, which has been banned. The Keffiyeh is a scarf traditionally worn by Palestinians, Muslims, and Arabs, but it has come to symbolize solidarity with Palestinians amid the Middle East conflict. She says that she will continue to wear it.